towards safety and security in our future world. That would be one of the best applications for artificial intelligence to automate and spread safety in a society. The way we do that is we use devices such as cameras and LiDAR sensors, in addition to our AI algorithms, to perform various applications, both on the roads for road safety, as well as in our cities, in our smart cities for security. And as you might expect, on the road, we're more concerned with vehicles, and in our cities, we're more concerned with individuals and crowd. I'm going to share with you this YouTube video. Unfortunately, there are hundreds of it. Let me stop it for a second. The truck driver here on one of the highways of the UK has decided to take his eyes off the road and change the music on his phone. Unfortunately, he will cause a horrific accident. And for that, I want you to brace yourselves. And I might add that these accidents, as terrible as they are, happen every day. Not just in the UK, they happen in Thailand, in Dubai, in Chicago, in Brazil. Today, smartphones make it difficult for people to keep their eyes on the road and be concerned with their own safety and the safety of others. ComIT has developed a unique patented solution, as you can see here in this brief 1.5 repetitive video that attempts to address this problem. Our algorithm, with the use of camera on the road, detects and tracks the car and the driver and analyzes the driver's behavior, resulting in detection of distracted drivers on the road. And as you can see, a violation is immediately issued, capturing all the metadata associated with it. Distracted driver detection. The same solution also looks for the seat belt of the driver in case the driver does not have a seat belt, for which a violation will also be issued. Then we have another solution. That's our ITS solution. We call it HORACE TRC. And TRC stands for Total Road Control. This unique solution deployed in the Middle East leads to a variety of services and applications, both for traffic enforcement as well as for road services organizations. It does all of these services. I'm going to take you through them quickly. Let's have a look at the first one. The first one, this unit controls a road as big as 16 lanes, assuming 8 lanes going north or east and 8 lanes going south or west. And this is how I'll share with you some of the inner working of the system. This is the same unit. This is an actual test. This is the same road. And these are all the cars on the road. Every single one of them is detected, tracked, and the speed is measured with a precision of 6 fractions of a kilometer per hour. For this solution, we have developed 21 layers of convolutional neural networks to allow us to enhance our detection of the vehicles and measure their speed. Of course, with that, we are able to issue speed violations for speeding vehicles as well as control the road. Then we do detection of tailgating violation. I'll share that with you very quickly. Tailgating is a problem that causes accidents on the road where a car is driving very close to the car in front of it. We measure the speed of the front car and the back car and the distance between them, and through a tailgating violation formula, we detect the presence of a violation and capture an image of the violating vehicle in the back in real time, along with the associated metadata, such as location and time and date, as well as the license plate number. Then we also have accident recording. Now, accident recording is done in a 3D environment, and I'll share that with you. Here, we're looking at both the video view and the LiDAR view. The LiDAR is a 3-dimension device, hence its video is in 3 dimension, allowing us to look at its recording from all angles, including from above, a bird view. And that allows us no obstruction or blocking, allows us to look at all the lanes, all the vehicles in each lane, and what exactly happened in the case of an accident, which car hit which car, at what angle, from which lane, along with the coordinates. So that eliminates the need of road accident investigation and provides a very unique, phenomenal, 3-dimensional accident recording. Then, counting. Road companies like to always know how much traffic is on the road for safety purposes and for future planning, for repair, for better improvement of services, etc. And here we have our accurate directional vehicle counting. Again, we used LiDAR sensors for it, and we drove virtual counting lines either on every lane or on the whole road or on a group of lanes, and we count with high precision every vehicle that passes through the virtual line. Accurate directional vehicle counting. Then we have classification. We classify all vehicles on the road, whether large or small, trucks or buses, or all other types of vehicles. And we count them. We count them for every lane, and we count them for the entire road. Then shoulder driving violation detection, because we control the entire road, and driving on the shoulder is illegal, so we detect violating vehicle, capture an image of the vehicle with the license plate number and the metadata. The same thing for wrong-way driving. That's also a violation. We detect it. We also detect, because we detect the speed of every car, we know the average speed of the road, and if there is a congestion, that would mean the average speed has dropped below half the speed limit of the road. Hence, we send an alarm in real time that congestion has begun on that road. And if it's in only one direction, we send the associated direction with it. When the congestion stops and the average speed goes back to normal, then we send another notification of the end of congestion. We apply the same method in the case of traffic stoppage. When the traffic stops and the average speed becomes 0, we send an alarm to the authorities in real time, and then send another notification when the traffic resumes traveling. That allows the authorities to take the necessary action on the right road in real time, thus eliminating or going a long way to reduce potential trouble and problems on the road. We can also identify stoppage of traffic individually for each lane. We can set different speed limits for every lane. The system is intelligent enough to treat every lane as a whole road, and hence is able to do all sorts of these applications per lane. Accident detection is done when a vehicle has a speed of 0, which would mean that there is car trouble or an accident in a specific lane while the rest of the road continues to flow normally. Also, in the case of debris falling on the ground, whether it's debris from a truck or from a vehicle or a suitcase or some other cargo, the system is immediately able to send an alarm to the authorities indicating the presence of debris on the road, identifying the specific lane and the coordinates associated with the debris. This allows the authorities to take immediate action to clear the road. These were some pictures of different units. The same system is also done on gantries, on highways. So you place your cameras and a LiDAR sensor and you control the road. So an immense amount of data is generated, whether it's the speed or the violations or the information on congestion or the information on the road status. All this are put in a unique report. These are some samples of violations happening at the farmost lanes. The system controls all 16 lanes. And you have all these real tests that I have shared with you. These are examples of the data that are generated by the system, and they are displayed in the reports in pie charts and bar charts and graphs. As you can see here in this case, we have congestion. So the green color indicates normal flow of traffic. The congestion here is indicated by the orange color in this area, and it's clear with the timing when it began at 8 a.m. in the morning, 36 minutes and 27 seconds, and it ended at 9 o'clock, 9:04:27. If there were stoppage on the road that day, that will be displayed in red color here. So an extremely valuable set of data for road services and for the traffic enforcement and the police force to allow for safer roads in our future world. We have another solution called the Smart Patrol. We turn a police car into a smart police car by our solution P3, and P3 stands for Plug and Play Patrol. And the reason we call it plug and play, it is so easy for the officers to use. For example, an officer rides the police patrol at the beginning of their shift. All they have to do is press on this green button on a tablet on their dashboard. And the cameras and LiDAR and the computer and everything are, they come up and the system starts fully automatically. This system performs the following services. It detects the speed of all the cars all around the police patrol at all times in 2 lanes on the right and 2 lanes on the left of the police patrol, issues immediate real-time violation for any speeding vehicle. It also detects distracted driver and drivers who have a seatbelt violation, like we see here. So for example, this driver here does not have a seatbelt on, whereas this driver here is distracted on a cell phone. So if I show you a brief video of how the system works, just give me 1 second. You'll see that when the officer presses on the green button, the system comes up, the dashboard comes up, which displays all the violations in real time. This is a view of the 2 different ALPR cameras showing the video feed. And this is a view of the LiDAR. Then the officer sets the speed limit of the road according to the road in which they're driving. And then the system just picks up from there. Any vehicle caught above that speed limit, whether right or left, including multiple vehicles all at the same time, they will be captured and a violation immediately issued along with all the associated data. And the same thing goes for drivers who appear to be on the cell phone or drivers who are without a seatbelt. Another solution that I believe is very unique and uses intelligence to cut costs for road services companies is iSlope. Typically, if you have a slope on the side of the road, it can result in accidents like this, where the vehicles, if they veer off road, they may fall down if the slope is too steep. So what the road companies like to do is deploy a guardrail like this one. But in order for them to know where exactly they should put the guardrail, they have to know what the slope is. They have to measure the slope. Some slopes are light, are safe, are not dangerous. If the car goes onto those slopes, there will be no accident. And some are more steep. So the way to do that is to manually, with the use of clintometer like this here from Germany, they stop the car, they go out and measure the slope by hand, they take the coordinate of the location, and then they drive some more and do this all over again and keep doing that throughout the entire road. Our iSlope, of course, this way costs a lot of people a lot of weeks or months, depending on the length of the roads and how many roads, etc. But our solution, iSlope, performs automatic intelligent road slope measures. So in this case, the driver just needs to get in the car and drive on the road at full speed, at regular normal speed, without ever stopping, without ever doing anything. And the system just does it automatically all by itself. At the end of the road, when the driver arrives, the driver would have in the computer a detailed report with all the slopes at all the locations, with all the coordinates, as well as all the alerts and all the thresholds. So the work that would have taken months and multiple people to perform can now be done in just a few hours. So that saves a lot of time, money, and goes a long way to contribute to a safer and more secure future world. Now I want to take you to another area of our work, security. And ComIT has a security platform that uses artificial intelligence called and ITrack Security platform performs a variety of applications and functions that contribute towards crime prevention and anti-terrorism. Let's have a look at this video. It's an animation video that explains this particular service. Here we're looking at an airport. The airport has the system deployed on different parts of the terminal. It uses facial recognition as an AI solution, and it uses LiDAR's people tracking as an AI solution, and it fuses both of them together so that the two AI solutions are able to exchange data in real time with each other. And that's the heart of our unit. The system is called PRT, which stands for People Recognition and Tracking. As you have seen here, the system counts the people with accurate directional crowd counting and then alerts on the presence of a wanted person through facial recognition. Here, John Smith is wanted, so an alarm has gone to the authorities. Then the system tracks John wherever he goes. The system is deployed in various parts of the location, and now the LiDAR takes over from the cameras, and LiDAR sensors do not have lenses, they are not cameras, so they do not require lighting or any other requirement a camera would. So the person is tracked wherever he or she goes, even when they mix with crowds, even when they are occluded by taller people. This is a 3-dimension tracking device. And the tracking tracking of that person is displayed on a tablet in the airport security office. So when the alarm is gone, they are able to look at the iPad they have and see precisely where that person is at all times. So they don't have to go and look for them where the camera picked them up. They can go straight to where he's at. At this point, the officer is walking with the iPad in his hand. He knows this wanted person is at the departure gate. He goes straight to the departure gate and he does whatever he needs to do, arrest him or speaks with him or whatever. Now I want to show you this example in real life. Here, we will see a real test of this PRT solution, recognition and tracking. Here we have in some part of the Middle East, we have an area where the system is deployed, where there is a mall. This is outdoor. The mall entrance is here. There is a cafe here. There is a restaurant across the street. This is a walking street for tourists. And there is another cafe here called Secret Garden Cafe. Here we will see 3 people on the wanted. And I can hear a bell, but I'm not sure if it means anything.
No, they were.
But I'm almost finished.
It's all good. You can continue.
Okay. So here we will look at how Omar, Muhammad, and Asaf are coming out of the mall, monitored by the system, tracked by the system after being matched with the facial recognition. Alarms are going to be sent. You can see the alarms in this corner. You can see the tracking in this tracking screen. And you see the blacklist where the captured image is matched with the database image that is with the authorities. So this system, for the first time, fuses facial recognition done by cameras with LiDAR people tracking done by LiDAR sensors. Let's have a look. Here Omar is coming. He's dressed in blue, and behind him is Muhammad. Let's walk. Now Omar has been matched. The alarm is sent. He's been tracked in yellow. And then Muhammad has been matched. Alarm sent. He's tracked in blue. And then Asaf is matched. Alarm sent. He's tracked in red. And it's all happening so very fast. And it's all happening in real time. So that allows us to know the location of everyone. Every color code for every person is displayed right here, right next to the picture and name and time and date. So you have the time and date stamp, you have the person's picture, and you have the, let's have a look again. I know it happens so fast. So here they all come, they are matched with the database, they are instantly tracked, and the alarms are sent on all of them. And now they can go wherever they want, no matter how big the covered area is, they will always be tracked, and we will always know on our tracking screen where every person is. So if we need to know the tracking record of anyone, because this system is also stores this information in the database for historic data retrieval on demand. In addition, the system is intelligent enough that if one person is tracked at an airport, say in Terminal 1, then he takes a train and he goes to Terminal 3, and the system is also deployed in Terminal 3, then the system will be able to recognize this is the same person that has a tracking record from Terminal 1 previously, and will link the 2 tracking records for the same person together. And even if that previous tracking record was done weeks or months or longer before, the system will always link all the tracking records for the same person all together in the same file. This makes the job of the authorities easier as they try to identify how to find the person and historic records of their whereabouts. Of course, the system does accurate crowd counting, directional counting, by deploying a virtual counting line in front of the mall entrance, and you have the counting in and out here. You also have a virtual line for accurate directional crowd counting along the walking street, and you have the up and down the street precision counting here. We also have a heat map that displays a live update of where people's presence are. The system is also capable of not only tracking the wanted people, but everybody else, if the authorities so desires, so that if a person is missing, then the family of that person can bring a picture of that person to the authorities. They can place it in the historic database and retrieve any tracking record for that person to assist the family of finding their missing child or their missing loved one. So ITrack, the security platform, has this solution, PRT, which does AI fusion between facial recognition and LiDAR people tracking. So that really brings us to close to the end of our conversation, and I'm not sure if there are any way for questions or comments from the audience.
Yes, certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed Sadiq. It was a great presentation. So the floor is open for questions to the audience. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, so I got one quick question. What is the accuracy rate of your software in terms of, tracking all these capabilities? How accurate it is?
Right. So what I have demonstrated in these videos are actual real life tests. So you could see that it's pretty accurate, but the way we do that is through what we normally call enhanced detection. So it is one thing to detect an object, but it's a whole different game to track the object, which means an enhanced detection has been performed so that you are able to continuously keep track of your object and not drop it. As you have seen on the road for the Horus TRC, all the vehicles are detected and tracked, and then the tracking stays with them 100 meters before they arrive at the unit and 100 meters after they depart the unit. And the same thing for people. In the case of people, our precision is much more due to the smaller nature of the human object, if you will. Hence, we need to have enhanced detection of people, or we call people perception, and that allows us to not drop the person even when the person joins a crowd or mixes and mingles with other people. That's pretty accurate.
Okay, perfect. That's great. So do you have any installations outside Middle East, or you are planning to extend it in other countries?
Yes, sir. So our systems now are across 2 continents, and we are engaged right now in Southeast Asia, in addition to the Middle East, and we have plans to go into Europe. So some early discussions with some companies in the UK. So we're looking forward to growing the system in Europe and beyond.
Do you have any operations in Australia?
We are actually talking, I don't want to mention their names, but one of the biggest and largest companies in Australia, based out of Sydney. In fact, we were with them. I hope some of them are listening last week. And we had an early introductory conversation that was extremely promising. So this particular company is working in Australia and New Zealand and in North America. And but yeah, we're open. We'd love to be in Australia. If you can help, Dr. Hafiz, do let me know. Let's have a chat.
Sure, perfect. We'll talk about it. There is a quick question from Sabi. He's asking, what is the main resolution of the camera to have it working?
Right. So basically, any algorithm that depends on cameras is also going to be dependent on the quality of the video feed that it receives. You can have the best and greatest algorithm, but if you provide it with poor quality video stream, expect poor quality output. So I would say that it depends really on how important this. If this is a life or death scenario or application, then spare no money, get the highest, use the specs. For every one of these solutions, we have tested cameras from all camera manufacturers and LiDAR sensors from all LiDAR manufacturers, at least 3 or 4 manufacturers. We usually standardize on the optimum performance to ensure the highest level of accuracy. So it really depends on a case by case. So I cannot just give you a 2 megapixel, for example, and say that's what you need. It really depends on the application, the coverage area, indoor, outdoor, what is the use case, and then I can answer this question in a more informed way. But generally, we tend to want to use high quality video stream. Now, you could use most of these applications on existing infrastructure. If you have cameras all around the airport, if you have cameras on the road for ALPR, we have successfully leveraged the presence of these existing systems in many ways, and we're able to deploy our solutions and algorithms on top of them to reduce the capital expense of the customers. So that's, I guess, is very helpful.
Okay, perfect. That's really great. Is there any other question from the audience? Okay, so I think there are no more questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammad Sadiq. It was a really great application, and look forward to discuss further about it. And thanks for your time. And it was lovely listening to your presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiz. The pleasure is mine, and thanks to everyone for good listening. If you have any comments or questions, Dr. Hafiz has my contact.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.